Rampage, the king of the jungle. Now I did a guide for this guy way back, but a lot has changed since then. Previously we would focus on building more damage and less defensive items, but now if we truly want to help our team, we have to focus on building more defensive items in the late game, allowing us to soak up as much damage as possible for our team. My Rampage build is a tanky one. After all, he is a tank. I found that Rampages who build damage throughout the game really struggle at 60 card points because they get destroyed instantly. But if we build some damage in the early game and then progress into our tank items, you should see a lot of success. I don't even have a lot of damage, but you'll see that I pick up 10 kills and 14 assists. Not that this matters, but it definitely helps with winning the game. Start with your Warlord as your prime card. I actually think the Centurion is a better choice if you're playing in a team, while the Warlord definitely helps in solo queue. Throw in a health potion and double strike token. Next, add your Beastmaster's key, although you really can use any key card here if you don't have the Beastmasters. We have our Adamant Edge next with 2 minus strikes and a lesser health. Our next card is Guardian's Ward with 3 minus strikes. Now I know a lot of you won't have this many minus strikes, so you can use lesser health cards instead without sacrificing too much damage. I'll post an alternative build in the description below. Our spiked Boneplate cards are up next. We have the first one with 3 minor guards and then our second spiked Boneplate with 3 greater guards. If you don't have 2 spiked Boneplates, you can skip the first one with minor guards, as this just helps us curve the build better and isn't essential, but it does give you that extra boost. This is the same with our Thorned Greenweaves. We add our tempered plate next with 3 greater healths and move on to our Thorned Greenweaves. We throw in 3 minor barriers into the first one and 3 greater barriers into our second one. We have a tuned barrier with 3 greater healths. And finally, our situational card, Bud of the Changeling with 2 lesser healths. This card is the perfect counter to Tainted Magic. The passive says, while poisoned, increase all healing received by 100%, including health regen and lifesteal. Now you only really need this card against the Iggy running Tainted Magic, so it is highly situational, but I thought I'd include it so you guys were aware of how to counter such an opponent. The build order itself is pretty straightforward. You start with a health potion, double strike token, move on to your Beastmaster's key and Guardian's Ward when you next have 6 points. You want to max out your Guardian's Ward and then move on to your Adamant of Edge. Once you max out your Adamant of Edge, you can move on to your first defensive item, either your spiked Boneplate or Thorned Greenweave, depending on the damage type that is most threatening on the enemy team. You want to use your cheaper versions of these cards so you can move on to their counterparts quicker. Once you have both your early game defensive items, you can move on to your tempered or tuned barrier. Again, get the one you need the most and max it out, and begin working on the other. Once these are maxed out, you can sell your spiked Boneplate and Thorned Greenweave and replace them with the more expensive versions. Remember to sell your key once you have enough harvesters. You don't need to keep it if you have 4 or more harvesters, in all honesty. My main focus in the guide part of the video is going to be on rotation, early game aggression and tanking. However, if you are quite new to Paragon, you can check out my previous Rampage video here where I teach you how to jungle better with him, while in this video I'm assuming you already have this knowledge. The first two basically guarantee you winning the game. Paragon, the way it is at the moment, allows you to snowball like crazy, and the best way to ensure this is early game aggression. I noticed Decker is fighting Gadget, so I immediately rotate and secure the kill on Gadget, also saving Decker in the process. Time and time again, I see way too many people sit and do white camps while their allies die. Honestly, don't do this. Save your allies and secure a kill. Here is just another example of why rotating and early game aggression are a good thing. I rotate for the black buff, pick it up, while Murdoch secures the kill on Grux. I wasn't too worried since he should be able to easily kill this Grux. The enemy Murdoch continues to fight him, so I come to assist my Murdoch and we secure the kill. This allows us to easily take down a tier 1 tower thanks to the black buff, but I'm not done yet. I rotate immediately to middle lane. Murdoch is slow to react and only comes because I tell him to, but this should be second nature to you guys. So take the tower and then look for an opportunity to punish them if possible, like we see with Gadget in mid lane. And because of this rotation, we were able to secure yet another kill. I've picked up the black buff again, and now it's time to apply even more pressure. Gadget is dead in middle lane, and this provides us with the perfect opportunity to push. Their Rampage doesn't have the wave clear to stop us, so again this is a free tower. Having the black buff not only allows you to take the tower down quicker, but because of that you are able to retreat in time, meaning that if the enemy team aren't able to rotate quick enough, they can't even punish you for taking a tower. I just want to point out that my team weren't doing amazingly. I mean, the enemy team were constantly killing our gadget, but they weren't taking the black buff like I was, which meant that pushing towers was more difficult than it needed to be, and I was constantly rotating to cover, denying them towers when possible. However, as you just saw, whenever we killed one of them, they wouldn't rotate to cover the tower, and so they lost objectives pretty easily. Being a jungler, your team rely on your rotations. Getting ganks are crucial to securing towers, and a simple rotation allows us to secure a tier 2 tower. The enemy team are trying to take out our right tier 1 tower. I rotate behind them, focusing Gadget, who is already quite low. Sparrow is the next target given she is the carry, but with 4 of my team here she has no chance of survival. We pick up 2 kills from this, and with 3 of us pushing the wave we reach their tier 2 tower and secure it. In my opinion we did everything right here, but what is disappointing is that had Murloc and Decker continued pushing with us, we would have been able to take the tower quicker and not have gotten collapsed on. Instead they just did their own thing, but honestly if you secure 2 kills, push together as a team and take a tower, there is no need for you to split up unless it's to save your own tower. Now we might be one tanky hero, but we definitely do enough damage to be a nuisance. I rotate again to help my allies out as they engage in a pretty bad spot. I focus down Sparrow, and again you want to take out the main damage or at least isolate them from dealing damage to your carries. I then go to help out my Decker to kill Grux, and yes, we don't do insane amounts of damage, but we do enough to kill him, which is what matters. In this game the enemy Rampage pretty much built full damage, and you'll see at 60 card points he was just irrelevant while we were constantly securing kills and in the enemy's face, allowing our carries and casters to deal serious amounts of damage. When I say isolate the carry, I do of course assume your team can at least hold their own against a Rampage and a Grux, so while I'm fighting Sparrow and yes we're basically tanking her ultimate while she scratches us, my allies unfortunately die. Now with my ultimate I'm able to regen up to full health and tank 3 heroes for ages while Twin Blast rotates. At this point I've tanked a ton of damage, even the Winions can't kill me. Thanks to Twin Blast rotating we're able to secure a kill, but I have to eventually back out. This just shows that we're not even at full build and you're still incredibly tanky, and with just one good carry we could have easily gotten 3 kills here had Twin Blast rotated sooner. While in narrow choke points, it's a good idea to use your ultimate and leap into the front line. Your team can shoot past you, but the enemy team will mostly just end up hitting you, which is exactly what you want. This allows us to secure a kill on Gadget and Murloc. I chase Sparrow, and as she jumps down, I patiently wait for the inevitable blink up and finish her off. With both the carries out of the fight, we're able to secure the Ore Prime and respawn our inhibitor, which allows us to eventually win the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash that thumbs up button if you did. I'll be detailing a lot more tips in my upcoming Rampage full gameplay video, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. Check my latest top 5 plays here, and I'll see you guys soon.